Orleans Parish Sheriff Susan Hutson and her chief financial officer faced a criminal judge for the first time today after a sweeping 50-count felony indictment tied to last year's jailbreak at the jail Hutson runs. In the last hour, we received a statement from the sheriff saying, quote, "I will aggressively fight to clear my name. The timing of this incident is concerning, and it will not deter me from pursuing every available legal action to demonstrate that these accusations are unfounded." Investigators allege negligence, but as David Hammer reports, proving it was criminal is far more complicated.
When 10 jail inmates, including an already convicted murderer, opened broken cell doors, busted through a wall behind a latrine, and dashed out of the Orleans Justice Center last year, Sheriff Susan Hutson blamed politics.
Why did it happen just right now, right? In the middle, as we're getting ready to start this sheriff's race. This is very suspicious.
And her chief financial officer, Bianca Brown, pled poverty.
So right now, we can't afford a maintenance service contract. We have maintenance staff that are on board that do the day-to-day. But right now, our current budget sits at about $68 million. This size facility, this should have a $150 million budget easily. The budget that we have, it doesn't support what we need.
But now a state grand jury is charging Hutson and Brown with serious felonies for their failures. 50 total counts of malfeasance, filing false public records, and obstruction of justice. Prosecutors in Attorney General Liz Murrell's office allege the sheriff's office had enough money to fix broken locks and prevent the jailbreak. But proving that was criminal is a high bar, according to former federal prosecutor Matt Chester.
It is not a crime to just not be good at your job. Or to not have enough resources to perform your job. That is left up to the voters.
And the voters spoke on that and voted the sheriff out.
That's right.
Could that be a defense here to say we were doing the best we could with the resources we had?
A defendant can be found guilty of malfeasance if they intentionally don't perform a duty that's required of them, or they intentionally perform a duty in an unlawful manner. The indictment is pretty basic in its details, doesn't give a whole lot of specificity there.
But the indictment goes beyond malfeasance, including obstruction and filing false public records.
What makes the filing false public records and obstruction of justice charges more serious?
If there are allegations that those acts were then covered up and obstruction took place, that is conduct that prosecutors love because it reflects, consciousness of mind. It reflects consciousness of guilt.
It could be a situation where the alleged cover-up is worse than the alleged crime.
For now, both Hutson and Brown are out on bond.
Unless there's a plea bargain that is struck or unless the government decides to walk away, this case is likely to proceed to trial.
And it could be a year or longer before we get to that point.
Correct.
The next step, whether a judge forces prosecutors to spell out exactly what duties they say were violated. David Hammer, WWL, Louisiana.
We did not hear back from Hutson and Brown's defense attorneys today. The case now goes to Judge Leon Roche.